like to be the rainmaker. I wonder what it's like to know that I made the rain. I'd store it in boxes with little yellow tags on every one, and you could come and see that when I'm done, when I'm done. I wonder what it's like to be us.
All right, how's it going, everybody? What's it called? Yeah, I always wanted to start the show with a Matchbox 20 song, and since they are having a little bit of a comeback right now, thanks to Trump, I really wanted to play the song. So I put out a TikTok post that was literally called "Straight Up, What Did You Hope to Learn About Here?" And that's the actual chorus, the opening chorus line to that song. And so what happens is, Trump goes to NASCAR to pretend to be some big shot. Nobody gives a fuck. And then it's just an embarrassment. It's the whole scene is just cringe as fuck, man. It's hard. You're white knuckling it the whole time, just like, oh God, what a fucking idiot. So he goes off into the skybox and he starts waving at nobody. Literally everyone is focused on, the Coca-Cola 600. It's a big event for NASCAR fans. And, I'm not a fan of NASCAR, but I understand the appeal to it. Like, I didn't get it as a kid. To me, I was always making fun of it, saying it's just driving left over and over again. But no, it's a blending of man and machine, and I really do see like the cool side of it. I just can't get into it. To me, it's just it's just boring as fuck, dude. I can't watch that shit. But I'm also a golfer that can't watch golf. It just annoys the shit out of me. So yeah, so Pathetic Donnie gets, you can just tell that all of this is one big photo op, Everything he does is for those cameras. Nothing else. There's no other reason for him doing whatever it is that he does. We already know that. And we can tell because, the only time you ever want to do something even remotely polite is if cameras are everywhere. So, he's just sitting there in this fucking goof box, in this bougie ass box. And again, you can see it's lined up with fucking, swag bags. And I never understand why, like, the richer you are, the less you have to pay for shit. Like, the more free shit you get if you're rich, Like, why? They can literally buy their own fucking fidget spinner. You don't need to fucking throw in a whole swag bag just because some douchebag comes in and sits down, Seriously, like, and then when these fucking stadiums go down or want to get an extension or some shit, that shit comes out on your state. That comes out on your taxes. It comes out on your city. And it's so fucking stupid that it's like, yeah, sure, it's a really nice stadium, but it's really hard for the upkeep. So, hey, NASCAR, if you want us to keep this fucking place open for you, a little bit of that'll help. That's what cities should do to all sports, There needs to be a total revamping of how that system works, So they have the right, the team has the right to change its name, change its location, do all this as if it's a fucking, free agent, when it's like, no, this is your city. You should have to pay a tax to that city because we have to keep Wrigley Field, clean and spotless fucking 24/7. So if we have to do all this shit, where does the money come from to do said shit? Well, it comes from you. It comes out of your taxes, and it's fucking bullshit. That these teams, if you have enough to pay $25 million for a guy to kick a ball once every other game, you have enough money to give to the city so they can maintain your shitty little field, and that's the reality of sports. People never put that into consideration. Like, hey, why do we have to front fucking Soldier Field when we're not allowed to touch it, we're not allowed to go in, so why do we have to pay for it? I still have to pay for a ticket to get in, but this place only exists because we pay our taxes. You see how that makes no fucking sense? And it's like, no. You want to play here and you want this building open 24/7, then you need to pay for it. It's like renting an apartment, Just because you ain't using the fucking field don't mean it ain't there. It doesn't disappear and then come back up in the spring when y'all are ready to play with your caps and, your bases. It's such bullshit. And, I don't care if you're a fan of the sport itself. That has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with economics and the fact that you're being disenfranchised. And it's literally disenfranchisement, knowing that this is a franchise. So, no, they should not have, all this free reign, add on the video game money, commercials, ads, all of these endorsements and shit like that. There's all of this money and none of it goes to the actual city that you're supposed to be repping, and so this is why I stopped liking sports once I started seeing just the bullshit. And then I started noticing, they don't call traveling anymore in basketball. They don't call shit in basketball anymore. And everything's a foul. So, like, I would never be able to play today because I would constantly be fouling you because that shit is normal where we come from. I should be able to put my hand on your fucking back so you can't lie to me, So the trick has always been, to pay attention to somebody's hips. Like, the Shakira song, My Hips Don't Lie. Well, the truth is that the hip can't alter itself because it's a ball and socket kind of joint. So if you follow the hips, not the arms, don't fucking look at the hands, don't look at their faces, just focus on hip movement. And you'll be able to fucking shadow your fucking opponent with no problem. And we used to be able to put one hand out on the back, just so we get a feel for where you're fucking going. Now, if you even touch that player with the ball, oh God, it's a fucking, it's a foul, and then you're going to get canceled. And then if you did it to a black guy or a fucking, the one Indian player that's there, then you're a racist. Like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to play basketball. And, it's bullshit. And, for Trump to try to put out his stupid ass little banner of his own mugshot, during the Yankee game, that it's overboard. It's fucking overkill pathetic, overkill desperate. So let's go into the first video of the NASCAR event and watching our desperate little Donnie making a very complete desperate fool of himself. So let's start it up right around here. So we see dumbass is entering in, and again, it's like he parked there on purpose so everyone has to look at him, and that's the kind of guy he is. So, look at how the car right here, look at this limo is perpendicular to the actual curvature of the line here. So it's straight up saying, look at me! And it's fucking desperate. And so, yeah, let's let Ben talk a little bit. I want to be able to just start it. And
after getting
they're taking picture after picture after picture. These are all just photo ops. They're just photo opportunities. And so they're just going to place some sort of fucking bullshit like applause track or something like that,
he
and
is
then
getting
play
cheered
this
on by the crowd that is there to watch the NASCAR race. As
and you can see like everyone's like, dude, just get the fuck out of the way. But this is who he is. Now it's not a matter of like think about like the rock stars, think about people like Kurt Cobain. Just try to be themselves, and the mainstream came to him. He didn't bark up that tree. That tree straight up followed him wherever he went, and he couldn't get away from it. And with Trump, it's the exact opposite. You're doing exactly what Courtney Love would do. And that's like staging events, staging actual fucking human moments that are supposed to happen. They're all staged. And then if anybody complains, oh, she's going to make a call to Sam Lutfi. And then, oh, you're fucking gone. You're crazy. Look at the fucking pattern. And so, to all you Courtney fans out there you go. I still hate you guys. The fact that you cheer on a fucking murderer will never make sense to me. And whenever these fucking fans like to say that Kurt Cobain was not murdered and Courtney had nothing to do with it, you are fucking full of shit and you know it. She killed fucking Kurt. She killed Kristen Pfaff. These are fucking known, dude. This is fact. There's way too much. You could say it's circumstantial, but after so many circumstances, shit just looks obvious. So this is a perfect meme for what he actually is doing right now. I love Nathan. This is a comedian, and he had a show that was called Nathan for You. Love this guy. So it says, out on the town having the time of my life with a bunch of friends. They're just all out of frame and laughing too. That's exactly Donald Trump's fucking campaign right now. Literally. We'll green screen it later. So now comes the infamous moment where he decides to start saluting the song Amazing Grace. Now, whether or not he thinks this is an American, like, patriotic song, I don't know. But something tells me that when he hears Amazing Grace, he just gets really happy because he starts thinking about the back of his golf course and his ex-wife. Because, like, it's the last time he heard the song. Oh, this song brings back good memories. You fucking psychopath.
There with Richard Childress, who used to be a NASCAR driver. Now he's an owner of a race car company. And
so Childress. I mean, his name is Childress. That just sounds so wrong. So Childress is standing there. He didn't put his hand over the heart until Trump started saluting out of nowhere, and he just kind of was confused, wondering what is he doing? And this is the most like confused crowd in the background. This is why I fucking love it so much. Look at the background. These people have no clue why they're standing still, and like why bagpipes. Like who fucking. Oh man, this is just hilarious. I mean, you could say it's for a Memorial Day thing, but you don't salute Amazing Grace. They're playing this for the death of democracy in case he's voted in. Just in case. They figure, let's play Amazing Grace now since America's dying anyway. And that was our tribute to the American dream. And now let's start saluting random airplanes in the sky. No, he does it. He starts saluting a fucking plane going to the sky. Now, somebody marked out that somebody had mentioned that this was not a specialty plane in any way. I am not an expert on that, and I didn't want to say anything, but it did look to me like a regular 767. And so somebody else had put in the comment that on my TikTok saying that actually there's nothing special about that plane. It's a fucking regular fucking airliner or some shit. So in case he's right,
People, he's
it is pretty
saluting airplanes. Then he's walking up
because
into one of these trailers, and Richard Childress is just getting annoyed because Trump is
oh,
stopping.
okay, never mind. You know what? I don't think that was a regular airliner. It had the extra things on it. Doesn't that make it like a bomber plane? I think it's makes it a military plane. So I think the guy was mistaken. But again, why are you doing that? Does this guy go to the beach and then when the Blue Angels come up, he just fucking annoys everyone by fucking saluting instead of shouting with fucking excitement? So this is a picture of child dress trying to get up the goddamn stairs, and fucking Trump won't let him because he needs to stop every other step and do some sort of dumbass photo op. And oh god, look at that! They're right there in the front. There's just a tiny little white hand right there. God damn, you pasty motherfuckers crack me up.
Stopping every two stairs, either saluting or like putting his hand up.
Now,
It's just his team taking these pathetic propaganda photographs of him around big crowds to
so it really is. It's no longer a photo op. It's now a photo prop because it's being used for a prop and for propaganda. So it works on both levels. Now, seeing him in the skybox and waving at nothing, you're straight up waving at the back of people's heads at this point, and it's just fucking hilarious. Like you're not fooling anybody. This is what I was talking about with the swag bags in the front. Now I'm sure they say NASCAR or BMW or something, but to me they look like those cheap ass ones you get from like your work on like Christmas, and you always get those cheap ass bags, and it's like a fucking. It's always a coffee cup. Like it's always a goddamn coffee mug with the fucking name on it, and maybe some like stationaries, like pens or some shit. But that's usually all it ever is. And so yeah, look forward to seeing this shit in the future. It's something. They're gonna fucking. I mean, what I don't understand is the dude is not a billionaire, but the dude's got money. It's called a green screen, man. You don't have to stand behind that weird fucking couple of flags and do those weird videos. Like, you can actually have that little 12-year-old girl that follows you around with that printer. Ask her to make you some viral videos. That's all you had to do. It was like, hey, little kid, make me some viral shit. She would have been like, yes, sir. And then just fucking chat GPT and AI every goddamn thing. Problem solved. Now, the funniest part about this is the fact that while this stupidity is happening, I won't even call it chaos, but while this stupidity is happening, if you were to look on the other side, like, hey, well, what is Biden doing? Biden was at a graduation for the West Point Academy graduates. West Point being, one of the most difficult schools to pass. They had some scandal recently, but, the singer of Tool and the singer of The Doors, so Maynard James Keenan and Jim Morrison, both were West Point Academy graduates, actually. And that's why they both could actually really fight if they wanted to. There's a great video of a dude that comes up to Maynard while he's playing a song. And remember, Tool, when they play, it's very dark and it's very blue or certain colors. They use like this dark blue a lot. So it had this real dark stage. We can't see on the stage. When we're performing, we can't see that far, you know? And this is why we don't like people jumping up on the stages anymore, you know? We don't want a dime bag situation. We don't want any of that. And so, you know, the guy comes up to Maynard, and Maynard, not knowing if this was, you know, an attack or what this was, he just like judo flips this fucking dude and then holds him in a headlock while continuing to sing the song that he was singing. I think he was doing Lateralus. But he continues to play while holding the dude down in this headlock. And he eased up on the grip once the kid started like cheering and throwing up the horns. But that kid could have gotten really hurt, because West Point Academy, they don't fuck around, man. It's a military school. You learn a lot of fucking you know, a lot of scholastic shit, but you're also going to learn a lot of physical shit because you're prepping for a fucking military. So this was the picture that I was talking about in Yankee Stadium, where for some reason they thought it was a good idea to just have somebody pull out this shit in the middle of the fucking game.
You're putting a banner of Trump's mugshot up in Yankee Stadium during the playing of the national anthem to make him feel big and strong.
Yeah, that's really all you're doing is like stroking the guy's ego. And I mean, how much of a baby can you possibly be? And how can you stand behind someone that needs so much validation? You know, they all say like, well, Trump's the real candidate. Dude, go have a beer with him. He don't drink. Go try to fucking have a fucking, you know, go fucking do anything with this motherfucker, and he can't do it. He's not a real person, all right? He won't have a beer with you, not even because he doesn't drink, but he probably wouldn't know how to fucking hold the fucking drink. He probably wouldn't know how to hold the handle of the mug, you know, or fucking be able to hold the fucking glass. You know, this is a guy that can't, you know, let's go, you know, meet me over here. Oh, well, can you pick me up? Well, why can't you just meet me over there? I don't have a car. You don't have a car? You're a fucking billionaire? You ain't got a car? I get rides. You're a fucking douche. And, you know, go play any fucking sport with him. He's going to suck ass, cheat, and then blame you for it. He is everything that you hate. And yet you still suck on his teat. It makes no fucking sense. This is what I don't get about these MAGA morons. They're straight up worshiping a guy that they would never, ever in their fucking wildest dreams hang out with this motherfucker. Now, we used to have that phrase, he's the candidate you want to have a beer with. Now, people used to say that about Clinton. It was a totally different time, man. It was before we knew. So when he was out there, you know, playing saxophone and shit on Arsenio Hall and shit, you know, people were like, oh, wow, finally a hip candidate and someone you want to have a beer with. Then it started becoming like, that started becoming some sort of requirement. And it was like, no, yeah, sure, I could have a beer with Dwight Eisenhower, but you know what? I'd rather him just be my president and worry about that stuff. So when it comes down to Trump, he won't have a beer with you. You know, whatever you're going to fucking like, he won't. You know, sure, the guy likes fast food. That's all you're going to have in common is fast food. That's it. Because, you know, you're going to say like, hey, well, you know, why don't we pop the hood up and fix my car, you know, guy stuff. I don't know how to fix your car. Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, I mean, we could jam, play some music, you know. I don't know how to play an instrument. Okay, well, we can go to the bar and I don't drink. Oh my fucking god, dude. Well, we can go out for a drive. I don't have a license. Like, dude, you fucking suck. Everything about you sucks. And so the final thing I want to talk about was the fact that Fox News try to lie about this crowd cheering for him, which actually they were cheering for Matchbox 20, and that's why I played that as the intro, because Fox News literally has to try to say no, they're cheering for Trump, even though why would they be cheering at some random plane? How would we even know that's his plane? I know it says Trump and shit, but at fucking 40,000 feet in the air, we can't really see your stupid little fucking name. And there's a band playing right now. I'm pretty sure they're cheering for the fucking band. So, yeah, listen to this shit.
The stadium, like Benny Johnson, this MAGA influencer, goes, listen, Trump flies over the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte, North Carolina, and causes the crowd to go crazy. Listen carefully to this clip. What the announcer is telling the crowd to cheer for is Matchbox 20. But don't let that get in the way of Fox and MAGA Republican propaganda. Here, play the clip.
That wasn't Matchbox 20. It was former President Trump aboard Trump Force One, flying over the Coca-Cola 600.
Right.
Just compare this, though, to
that.
What was
Fuck that. Listen to that. They actually have to say that was not a cheer for Matchbox 20, but for Donald. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Do you honestly think these people went to a fucking, big old fucking NASCAR event, and now's a big concert, and we're going to be looking for some dude's plane to pass by for 6 seconds? What fucking planet, do you think we live on that we're so fucking naive to believe that? But then again, you're going to fucking have your bootlickers anyway. Now, one of the final pathetic things that I had left for the little Donnie is the rubber chicken effect. Now, I'm not sure if it's on this video. It might be. But during the, the event at the Libertarian spot. Yeah, here it is. The Libertarians, they had these rubber chickens that they were going to squeeze as he would, speak. So the whole point was to troll his speech with this rubber chicken. And Trump actually had his fucking Secret Service going around taking people's rubber chickens. Now, that's fucking hilarious because you're that sad. And that would, but to confiscate rubber chickens, all right, it's just too goddamn funny on its own. Just on paper, that's hilarious. And the very fact that you have to fucking do that is just sad. But the rubber chicken is like a staple of American comedy. The rubber chicken is as American as fucking apple pie. And the fact that he is so angry at it and takes it away shows yet again how oblivious he is to the real world. He probably goes, what the hell is that about? Well, we in Chicago have a guy named Sven Gulli, and a lot of New Yorkers know him too. And it's a joke, it's a rubber chicken, and then they throw it at him at the end of the show. And Sven Gulli's been around since like the 70s, and so the rubber chicken was already around in the 50s. So what I'm trying to say is this is America. This is like the definition of America. The rubber chicken with a sign on it saying debate Bobby. So they wanted, Robert Kennedy and Trump to debate. And so instead they go around taking these and confiscating these rubber chickens. Now, if that doesn't show desperation, I really don't know what else will, because that's pretty goddamn pathetic. So then when it came down to the actual libertarian votes, the votes were casted. And if you look closely, it's fucking hilarious that on the bottom, Bend Over and Afro Man both received one vote, as well as Stormy Daniels. And these are, of course, the write-in votes saying that, all these candidates suck. And so Bobby also, I think he lost that one too. So RFK has been eliminated from the Libertarian endorsement with only 2% of the votes. Obviously, they don't want fucking Trump, but they will go with Bend Over and Stormy Daniels and Afro Man any day. The fact that whoever put in Afro Man, this is for you. You're fucking awesome. Oh, that's fucking beautiful. So, yeah, if you're not familiar with the rubber chicken, get familiarized with the rubber chicken. I mean, that's fucking classic comedy 101. The rubber duck and the rubber chicken. It reminds me a lot of like Three Stooges. There's a classic one where they go duck hunting and they start bringing out the decoys, and they're just these rubber ducks, and it's just fucking hilarious. It's the Stooges. But it shows you how his popularity has not only dwindled, but I mean almost come into its gasping part. Its gasping point. Now, Brian Tyler Cohen, who's another left-wing journalist. He's a YouTuber and shit like that, and I try to scratch my ear with headphones on. Fucking sorry. So Brian Tyler Cohen has him on the fucking show and does this, interview. But I love that he just kind of nails him right off the bat, calling him out, saying, you realize that your biggest donor is Trump's donor. You see, like, they're just voting, they throw money to any of these candidates because it's just keeping your spot. That's really it. That's really all they're doing. It's just corporate people trying to keep their spot with the president, no matter who it may be. And it definitely won't be this guy. So I'm just gonna let Brian just go off because he kind of nails him.
Who was Trump's top donor in 2020. He's given $25 million to a super PAC supporting you, and he's given $25 million to a Trump-affiliated super PAC,
Looks like
which
he
certainly
didn't
does
want to
give
talk
the
about
appearance that Trump's donors want you on the ballot to serve as a spoiler candidate on his behalf. So what's your relationship to Timothy Mellon, and why is he infusing your campaign with so much money?
We get, I said this at the beginning of the campaign, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Full disclosure and disclaimer. That voice is like nails on a chalkboard to me. I'm so sorry. I know it's a disability, and I know a worm has been eating his brain, but I gotta say it. The voice is almost intolerable.
And I want to run a campaign that appeals to both sides. I want to run a campaign that makes Republicans forget they're Republicans and Democrats forget they're Democrats, and everybody remember that they're Americans. So I'm getting money from Democrats, Republicans. I welcome money from people who support President Trump. I have people on our staff who came from the Trump campaign. I have people on our staff.
I understand all of that, but if he's giving money at the same time, $25 million is no small sum. If he's giving $25 million to Trump and to you, and this is a Trump-aligned donor, and he's your biggest donor to super PACs right now, do you have any relationship with this person? Do you know why he's giving you this massive amount of money? Because clearly this isn't throwing his support behind you if he's also supporting Trump at the same time.
I'm going to quickly pause your viewing of this video to ask you to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to help us continue to grow. Click that subscribe button.
I should have just gotten the video from Brian Tyler Cohen, but this seemed faster. I forgot he does that.
The super PAC, I'm not allowed to coordinate at all with the super PAC, but
Do you have a relationship with him?
Yeah.
With Tim Allen, I've met Tim Allen twice.
Okay, and that
That's
was enough
it.
to. There's no other inclination as to why he's donating.
Like I said, I welcome money from everybody.
Dude, you are not answering the question.
Listen, I'm more.
You can understand how
Oh wow, this is just great. Can you see this? Like he is not answering the question whatsoever. He's trying to revert from the question, saying I welcome this and that. He's asking you fucking point blank, do you know this fucking dude? It's a yes or no. And the best we got out of him was I met him 2 times. So you met him 2 times. So was that what, like 12.5 million per time he met you? Like that's $25 million is a lot of fucking money. Not something that you give to somebody whom you met 2 fucking times. That doesn't fucking add up at all, dude. And when like Bernie Sanders said, when a politician is afraid to give up his donor and afraid to admit the relationships with his donors, something is very, very wrong. Sorry, that's a really bad impression. I'm working on my
I'm not sure what you're getting at, but President Trump, I'm running against President Trump. What do you look at that? What do you think you?
Oh man, and Brian is so stone-faced. He's nailing it, and he knows he's nailing it. I'm so proud of him for keeping a straight face.
On that with the super PAC, I'm not allowed to coordinate at all with the super PAC.
He didn't ask you about super
with
PACs.
With Tim Allen, I've met Tim Allen twice.
Okay, and that was enough to. There's no other inclination as to why he's donating.
Like I said, I welcome money from everybody. I don't think that.
Okay, he's asking about one specific, very specific donor, and this is like not just between politicians. This seems like the fucking norm today. You can't get a straight answer out of anyone these days. If you go up to someone and just walk up to fucking anyone and just ask them if they like the color green or some shit. I mean, like it's that fucking bad where people are just fucking socially inept. And, you can ask a bus driver, are you leaving soon? And you'll get 7, 5, maybe 12 words. It's like, dude, it was a yes or a no. I'll ask, my mom, do you need this? And, I'll get 7 words. And it's like, dude, I just need one. It's just one fucking word I'm looking for. It can be that simple. That's when we simplify it. It's called the specification. Now, I'm specifically asking you, do you know this motherfucker?
Listen, I'm more.
You can understand how.
I'm not sure what you're getting at, but President Trump. I'm running against President Trump. I have been a huge critic of President Trump's.
That's not
what he was a terrible president. I think he gave us the lockdowns. I think he shifted $4 trillion into this new oligarchy of super rich billionaires. I think he ran up the debt higher than any.
You are still dodging the very question he asked you, which was, do you have a relationship with the actual donor? And so this is the reality of people. You can't get a fucking straight answer. Nobody's going to give you one. You're always going to be looking for one. So good for Brian Tyler Cohen. I fucking love the guy. And I'm glad that he fucking kept his feet to the fire. Because, like I said, in these days, you will never get a straight answer. So you have to fucking press and press and press. And Socratic method has always taught us, ask questions to gain truth. So question everything. Now, this is why people didn't like Socrates, because when Socrates was standing around, you know, everybody had their soapbox and shit like that. But, you know, Socrates had fucking, you know, an actual following because they wanted to hear what he had to say. Now, kids were learning from him to question their parents. And he was the one to teach children, don't just accept because I say so. Ask again, until you get that answer, or at least something close to, or no, you're not going to get it. And then, you know, act accordingly. So, you know, Socratic method is so fucking simple, and yet it seems like it's just a completely lost talent these days. And people like Mehdi Hassan were people that like really showed it when it came down to guys like Jimmy Fallon, who is, you know, not there to ask you the tough questions. And then you had, you know, Barbara Walters. You know, it's these guys, you know, the real journalists that should be asking the questions. So I don't get mad about Jimmy Fallon not asking about this or that. It's not his job. He's there to entertain. And I totally understand that. You don't want to alienate your fans. You don't want to fucking cause waves. So you're going to throw softball questions. I totally understand that. It's under fucking entertainment. It's not news. But when you are the fucking reporter and you're asking questions and they don't give you the answer, you keep fucking asking them until they erupt like R. Kelly on that NBC interview, you know? If y'all remember the R. Kelly one, remember he stood up? Girl was like perfectly steady, man. She never even flinched. He's up fucking screaming, saying, you guys are trying to kill me. Y'all trying to kill me. This ain't got nothing to do with music, man. Like as if music was the loophole that gets him, you know, complete immunity for what he does outside of music. So when he's screaming, you know, this ain't got nothing to do with music, well, there ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind, right? Let's talk about it. Now, speaking of the rich elite cocksuckers, I can't get enough of the Diddy shit. The no Diddy shit is too much for me. I love it. It's like I gotta know more. And that's because I grew up with this hip hop. I grew up with these motherfuckers. I always wondered these, you know, I always asked these kind of questions. How the fuck did this happen? How the fuck did that happen? And so when it comes down to Puff Daddy and his bullshit ass fucking apology, it's a fucking joke. For one, the background of where he is does not match his current home that is over in LA. It is more akin to the Miami house that he had, which he hadn't been there in 2 years. So he made that video 2 years ago. We're watching an old ass fucking tape. Somebody pointed out the fucking trees and noticed the fucking the light brown background, which looks identical to the back of his actual Miami Beach house, Miami mansion, instead of the LA mansion. And it's pretty obvious now that we look at it. So what we are actually watching is a 2-year-old fucking apology.
I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
All right, now let's go ahead and break that down real quick. He's already said the word I and my and me. He's already referred to himself in about, 6 different words? So think about it. He's only putting out about 20 words, and a big ass chunk of it is me, 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 me. Never once is he saying, sorry for you. You deserve better. You didn't deserve whatever. You can just by saying I fucked up. That don't mean shit. That's the same shit as that's some shaggy shit. It wasn't me. You don't get away with that shit. So what people started to question again was look at the background of where his house is at. Now, when you look at his what's it called? Let me see. Let me put Puff. Mansion. Oh, it's currently for sale. So following the raids and all that shit, turns out that shit went over there. So there's a spot. All right, let me see. All right, let's try to put it up on the screen. All right, I think I found it. So let's pull it up right here. So when we look at the Miami one, you notice that that's the one that has all that light brown color and the trees and shit like that. Now, there's a spot. He has like a little tiki hut. So I think it was like in here. It looked like it was in this kind of spot because that's where all the little light wood is and shit. That light colored wood. Now, or like I said, ordinarily I would never give a fuck about this shit, but god damn it, it's interesting. So when you look at his crib over here, that's definitely Miami. That's not LA because of the fucking trees. So when you watch that interview, I think that accusation is very valid, and it does look like the Miami place. So let's hear that apology one more time and just try to count how many times he says me, referring to himself only.
I was
one.
I hit rock
two,
bottom, but I make no excuses.
3,
My behavior
4,
on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility
5,
for my actions in that
6,
video.
6.
Now, Combs shared that video on social media this morning. He's reacting to this 2016 video that came to light on Friday, showing him punching and kicking.
I think it's pretty obvious now that that ain't no apology. That is literally the worst apology. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for showing that. But because a lot of fucking podcasters are trying to stay away from that. And I totally see why. I honestly didn't think it was going to play that far. So, yeah, all apologies to YouTube and all that shit. But, yeah, if y'all take this down, you take it down. I get it. That shit, watching that shit is so fucking disturbing. It's triggering. It's just wrong. But, it's important that it's seen. It's important that it's fucking brought to light, and it's important to see that fake ass apology because of the fact that it turned out that the apology that he made even came with a phone number that was for the other victims. That let me try to pull this up. Because I was trying to do some journalism, doing my journalistic duties, and I straight up found a goddamn Puffy hotline where you can ask questions, where you can get your apology from Puffy, and it's really fucked up, man. There's a whole nother video. Let me see if I can get it up here. Talk about myself for the next 8 minutes. I want y'all to know. Yeah, that's it. I fucked up. And before I talk about myself for the next 8 minutes, I want y'all to know that for they ain't even playing. Call 555-5555
555. Don't worry about my lips.
See? Look at that shit.
You know, I fucked up. And before I talk about myself for the next 8 minutes, I want y'all to know that for anyone I hurt, call 555-5555. Don't worry about my lips. Man, motherfucker serious? Call this one. 5555.
You've reached the apology hotline.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I was a bad boy. Can't stop.
Yeah, that's some shameful shit, yo. That's some shameful shit. Putting out fucking hotlines and shit. Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anybody that had to hear that. You know, that's some sad, shameful shit. And so with that, we're going to end the show. And I just wanted to say that, man, when it came down to that video, I fucked up. I hit rock bottom. All right, love you guys. Stay safe, stay freaky, stay yourselves, and no Diddy. I should end up playing that shit again. Just to make people watch it.
From some other planet, I get this funky high on the yellow sun. Boy, I bet my friends are already stunned. They're stunned.